Hey, what's up, Robert here, coming at you with another Sony Vegas tutorial. This time attempting to show you how to add that 80s look to all of your high definition video in Vegas without having to pull out your old Handycam 8mm tape VHS camcorder. That's all messy. Last time I handled a VHS tape, I think I pulled out all the black tape that was inside. I was curious. And then I stuck it in the VCR and the VCR didn't help at all. It pulled the rest of the tape out and, you know, that was just a mess. I still record my TV shows on VHS. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at creating this. Here's our final outcome. You can see that looks like an excerpt from Cops. Back in the day. I was watching Cops the other day and it was old. It was old. Their little walkie-talkies look like cinder blocks. Anyway, let's get started at creating this effect. It's a little early in the morning, sorry. By morning I mean 3 a.m. First thing I'm going to do is take this 16:9 video and make it into a 4:3 video. And, you know, take it out of 1080 because VHS tape is definitely not in high definition and I have not seen a video on VHS in widescreen, so let's get rid of that. 4:3. Let's go to File, Properties, and let's change the template from HD 1920x1080 to multimedia. And if you don't have multimedia, just make sure you set the width at 320 and the height at 240. Field order, all this looks good. The only other thing I'd like to change is full resolution quality. Usually it's set to best or good. We can change this to preview. Actually, I'm going to change, yeah, preview is fine. Apply and click OK. Now we get these black bars up on top and the bottom. We got to get rid of those by going into the vent pan crop. Click that. Let's change it from default. Click the little down arrow to 1:1 square aspect ratio. Click OK, and that should take care of it all for you. Now we got 320x240, and it's at 4:3 aspect ratio. So now let's add these effects. I'm going to go into the event effects here, and I'm going to scroll over. Let's add a couple effects, not a couple, 7 of them. I'm going to add a color corrector secondary, color corrector, so secondary and the normal color corrector, color curves. Let's go down, film grain, levels, film effects, and TV simulator. Is that 7? Yeah. Okay, click OK. Now you can go ahead and uncheck all these except for the secondary color corrector, just so you know you don't get confused. We don't want any confusions. Okay, so color corrector secondary. We're going to go ahead and add some animation, so click animate. Here in Vegas Pro 10, that's how it works. You click animate and it animates it. Vegas Pro 9, I believe the keyframes are already down there. So let's go ahead and start at the first keyframe. Let's bring the saturation up, then move over a couple keyframes, bring it down, and just do this a couple times for some randomization. Bring this up again, go over, and then bring it down. Alright, so we can select these all, go to Control C to copy them, Control V, V. You can even select this all again. Alright, so now that we have that done, you can see we scrubbed through it. It's really going crazy over there. Okay, so now we can go over to the color corrector. Check that to turn that on. Let's make sure that our scrubber is at the beginning. Click, let's click animate. And let's go ahead and set the high. Kind of bring this up a little bit. The mids, pink. And the lows, let's bring this down. Alright, let's scrub up a little bit and let's just kind of, you know, play around with these. You can even go one more. And what we're trying to create is, you know, that look from those little googly eyes that you glue on crafts stuff, you know, not the Kraft mac and cheese, but when you do crafts and you make dolls and stuff, you know, those googly eyes. Yeah, I don't know. Select all, copy, and then paste, paste, paste. And you know, I've yet to figure out when I copy the bottom part. You know, I'm trying to copy just the bottom. You know, copy. But whenever I paste it, I believe it's pasting up here. I've yet to figure out how to stop that. If you know how to stop that, you can leave me a comment. Control V and Control V. And you can see we've added a lot of crazy keyframes here. So everything's going crazy. And you see googly eyes. See that? Alright, let's go ahead and go to color curves. No hesitation. Let's make sure we're starting at the beginning. We're going to go into the red channel. We're going to bring this up. And we're going to bring this up. As well as the green channel. Bring this up again. Do the same thing. Bring this up. And the blue channel. Bring this up. And this up. Alright, now let's go into color curves. Oh, we've already did that. That's why we weren't seeing it. Make sure you turn it on. Let's go into film grain. And let's bring this down and just add a small film grain at around 0.1060. Worked for me. You probably can't really see it in this video, but you'll see it when you're working in Vegas. Let's go into the levels. Turn that on. And let's just go ahead and input and bring this down a little bit. Okay. Now let's go into the film effects here. Turn that on. Let's go into the type and choose flicker. Make sure it's reset to none. Then choose flicker. And let's just bring the flicker up a little bit. Hardly nothing. And then finally, TV simulator. Let's reset this to none. Let's just add a aperture grille. Give it a grille. It'll be cool, you know. Bring the line sync down a little bit just to give it a little bit of a line wiggly effect. Not too much though. And then let's just bring up the static a little bit. Add around there. Alright, so let's close that. And we've finally added all the effects. Now that we're done, we can select it all. File. Render as 80's look. Make sure it's at Windows Media Video, WMV. Let's go ahead and choose the template at 256 kilobits per second. Go to custom. Just make sure everything is working. Include audio, video. Make sure it's at 320 by 240. You can adjust the video smoothness if you want. Bitrate 250K. That should work. You can even lower this a little bit to 200K. And then project, you can change the rendering quality to preview. Click OK. Click save and let it render out. Once it's done, click open. Here, I'll bring this over. Play. And there we have our 80's look done in Vegas Pro 10. Alright, so like I said earlier, it's just like an old-time Cops episode. Very exciting to watch. You can also, you know, bring down that line sync where it's wiggling. You can bring that back up to minimize that if it's too much for you. Alright, so there you go. 80's look in Vegas. Of course, there are various ways of doing this. You know, you can always adjust these settings, tweak them to what you like best. So I hope this helped. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Rob's Productions. Visit the site robertsproductions.net. If you have any questions, email me at the link in the description or leave a comment on this video. Like me on Facebook if you want. And also be sure to subscribe to this channel for weekly tutorials just like this one. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. And until next time, take care. Now I should really go to bed. I don't think it's necessary. Who needs sleep?